Let me go over to the workbench with it. Are you good? All right, so we're over here at the press. This is just going to make it go on so much better. It's easier than driving it on. If you have to drive it on, that's what you have to do. I'm lucky enough to have the press. Just going to put it on nice and evenly and smooth. And it just goes on so much easier, as you can see. And we'll just get that baby right down to where she needs to go. Sound like me getting out of bed in the morning. Let's have a... And what I did was I pressed it a little too far. So now what I need to do is I might be able to do that over at the vise, because I just need to wrap it down a little bit. It's a little too tight. So I just tightened it up a little too much on the press. So I'm just going to take and set it in the vise here. I'm going to take my drift pin. I got my hammer here. I didn't see it. I'm just going to tap it just to back it out a little bit. Because I just want this to be able to turn. And it's not moving. Hopefully that'll do it. There we go. I'm going to do it just a touch more. Give it a little space. Now I understand why it has a bolt that goes in the end. And hopefully I have the right pieces together here. Get one more good wrap. I think I'm happy with that. I wanted to have a little bit more play. Let me give it one more wrap. I don't want to have to take this apart ever again. Yeah, not on flats. Hold on. There we go. I think we're good now. Okay. So this has this locking tab here, almost like a collar. Let me find out what if I can tell you what it's really called. It's just basically a locking washer that goes on here with two bolts that get locked with a lock wire. It actually is really weird because it looks like a wide crown staple. So let me drop this on here. Here are my two bolts. This is a very interesting setup. I've never seen anything like this before, so it's kind of neat how they did this. And let me see if I can get it to go in. There we go. And these they're 9/16. And I'm gonna have to get an open end to tighten it. Let me tighten these up. That one does not want to go in, and I don't like that. That one is going in. Let's see what's going on with this one. I might not have just had it aligned real well. It's fine thread, so it's possible that I didn't really get it. And as you can see, it's not really interested in going in there. So I'm going to try taking this guy out. We'll put that guy in first. Maybe we'll just try switching holes too. Maybe he's adamant that he goes over here. He doesn't want to go into that one either. I'm going to guess maybe I need to chase him on a die maybe. Let me try him in here. See if he changes his mind. No, he's not changing his mind. Let me go chase this through a die real quick. And that way we'll know for certain and we won't have any problems. I took my bolt over and I just chased it with a die, cleaned the threads up. It had some resistance going down the die, so I'm guessing that was the reason why it was not going in here, but maybe we might find out I might have to chase this with a tap. Let's see what happens. I was not happy about it. Yeah, maybe there was a little burr on the edge because now it seems to be going okay. There we go. It's happier now. I think there was a little burr on the edge in there. Having those threads cleaned up really did help it though. When I took this apart, I found this to be a very interesting setup, as I was saying earlier, because I think this is one of the only places in this whole transmission that there's lock wire. And I remember when we were going through the transmission, I was talking about how John Deere, their transmissions are full of lock wire. And this one was very surprising. It had locking tabs, but no lock wire. And I found that interesting, just the difference between the two. And so this is a kind of a pressed, tightened fit. So I'm not going to harp down on these. This is just to hold this on, and thus the lock wire that goes through here, like I said, it looks nothing more than like a wide crown staple to me. So all I'm going to do is line these holes up, which means I need to loosen that a bit and see if I can get this to go through there. I was thinking of just replacing this with maybe some stainless steel lock wire, but I was able to straighten this, and I'm pretty confident that it'll be fine. I don't think it's going to break. I just need to push it in here past the gear. That's pretty good. Let's see if I can just push it in. I may have to go tap it with a hammer. Let me grab a hammer and just give it a rap real quick. Persuasion. There we go. I'm just going to bend those up so they'll pass the gear. And we'll just squeeze this down as far as we can get it, because we do not want these guys to loosen up on us. And a lot of times with lock wire, they do some fancy stuff with them, but this was actually pretty simple. It was just crossed over one another and in a twist, and that's all I'm going to do to put it back together. I'm going to go get a heavier set of pliers though to twist that with. Just use my straight pliers here. My ankle is pretty good. Let me stick with that. Now it just broke. So much for that. It's not going to make it. I'm going to have to get a new lock wire for it. That's the only problem with lock wire, is a lot of times it has a single life. As soon as you go to bend it, it's fatigued so much that it just breaks on you, as this just did. So I'm going to go find me some more lock wire. So because that lock wire broke, I just went and I had some stainless steel lock wire that's probably just as strong, if not stronger, than the original lock wire that was in here. I'm not going to get that crucial about it. I know that I have a tendency to be a little bit of an extremist on my hardware, but I don't think it's going to matter in this case with this. So, and this stainless steel lock wire is probably, like I said, stronger than what was even in there. So I have no doubt in the confidence that it'll be just fine in doing the job. In fact, it's a little easier to maneuver and work with. What's crazy is all the cleaning out and cleaning I did of this transmission, there's still that gooey oil still in these things. It's crazy. Stuff just got everywhere. So I'm going to take and just pull this snug. There we go. And we'll take and we will twist away. And this will do it, and it'll lock this up perfectly. Let me put one more twist on it so I can cut it. I don't want to get in the face. That just flew across the shop. And I'll just take and bend this over. And we are in good shape. Super. That whole assembly is together. Now we can take and we'll insert it in here. This is going to be a trick because this bearing needs to go into a holding surface in there. Hopefully we can get in there without any trouble. So let me start by tipping this up. And I'm going to put a little bit of lube on this. Hopefully it'll help us slide this in. And the other thing I still need to do is I need to line up all my shims down there as well. Remember, we have that oil hole that it needs to be lined up with. So kind of a lot going on here. There's an oil hole here too that I need to make sure when I put that bearing cage cover on that I have that in the correct orientation. Otherwise, we'll be running dry. So let me start my oil holes here in the back. Get my shims lined up. Check my O-ring down there. It's still looking good. Get those guys where they need to go. I'm going to take and throw a bolt through here. Hopefully that'll help us hold these in alignment a little bit. And then I'm going to tip this guy over. And that oil hole that we were making sure, as you could see when my pinky is, we were making sure that that was lined up with the shims. We have to make sure it lines up with that oil hole. So this bolt that I have in is going to be my top bolt. So here comes the fun part. I've already lost my shims. Disaster. All right, come on. There we go. We're back in business there. Let me give this a little. No, this is not really in line to go together. I still think I have that in the wrong orientation. I still think it goes this way. And I can hear you guys screaming at me right now. I'm going to go get my dead blow. Let me line this back up again. This has definitely been quite the challenge. This has almost been harder than putting a transmission together. All right, let me see if I can just get that to start slipping in. Aha, just felt it give. There it goes. Let me get the rest of my bolts in, and maybe we can just bring it in nice and evenly with the bolts instead of trying to drive it in. No, that one's not going in. Maybe I get lucky with this one. I'm not getting lucky. Story of my life. I don't have any of these in the holes yet. I think I got this one. This one just went in. Let's see if I can just pull it in a little bit. See if I can help me get these other guys in where they need to go. I got this back one to go. Oh, I had the back one. So for right now, I will not put the belt pulley on here. I actually have it. It's sitting over there in the parts. I know one of the big things is, well, what kind of belt pulley do you have? This belt pulley on this was actually the paper type, which completely blew me away because I never even knew such a thing existed. So when I was taking this apart, I was kind of like, that's really weird. This thing is made of paper. And then I did some reading on the various different belt pulleys that are out there, and lo and behold, there was a belt pulley that was made of paper. And so it's in pretty good shape. The outer edge of it had been a little beaten up, but I don't think it's not salvageable. Got a funny feeling I got gears that aren't meshing, which is the problem in doing it this way. Let me see if I can tap this out. All right, let's loosen this back up. Unfortunately, you need to make sure that the gears mesh, and I don't think mine are, which is why it's going in as difficult as it is. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I I don't like the way that sounds going together. Let me see if we can tighten this up again. Get that bearing to go into the machined area where it rides. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're not going in square potentially. Why are you doing this to me? I'm going to move this and disengage this and see if this will help me. For a moment. Oh, it didn't help a thing. I don't know why that's doing that.